Happy Black History Month and welcome to the February edition of Pulse of the Parish. I'm Crystal Beecham. Well, a new year brings new changes to the Caddo Parish Commission. We'll take a look at the Commission's 2025 leadership. Also join us for a special edition of Get to Know Your Commissioner, where we sit down with incoming President and District 7 Commissioner Stormy Gage-Watts. There's lots to see, so let's go. The Caddo Parish Commission selected its 2025 leadership on January 14th. Commissioner Stormy Gage-Watts, District 7, was selected as the Commission's new president. Commissioner Ken Epperson of District 12 was elected Vice President, and Commissioner Victor Thomas of District 3 was selected as parliamentarian. President Gage-Watts looks forward to the Commission continuing their work for the citizens of Caddo Parish, working with state and local partners, focusing on economic development, and strengthening the parish's infrastructure. The newly elected officers will serve in their leadership roles for 1 year. Congratulations, Commissioners!
So Stormy is the wife of Christopher Watts, the mother of Carrington, Wellington, and Remington, a local entrepreneur here in the city. And most of all, a woman of God. I love ministry. I love everything about helping others. I feel like that I was born for this purpose. I love people, love God's people. I'm always easily accessible, sometimes maybe too accessible to others, but it's definitely the walk that I live daily. As a public servant, before I was an elected servant, being a business owner, especially with the car wash, it's almost like the beauty shop or the barber shop for me. And those conversations that you have inside of those walls, if they could only talk. People would always come to me with their problems and their issues, and I found myself being that person that could find a solution to whatever it was that they were dealing with. And of course, I've always liked giving back. I've always been heavily involved in community initiatives. My parents instilled that in me. And so it became natural to always want to do something to help others and to make sure that everyone was given the best quality of life. And when the opportunity became available for me, I had a million excuses of why I should not do this, right? I was like, oh, I just had a baby. He's only 2 years old. And, I have this other kid and he's, they were 6 and 12. And we had this huge joke by the time I actually was elected. I had 3, 6, and 12. And they were not, the news, but actually they were. And so it was a calling. And I couldn't resist it. It was like I had to do it. I needed to go forward, and God was calling me to a higher purpose that was bigger than myself. It was very hard for me to walk away from the life that I had begun to love, especially being on that corner, just a cornerstone in Moortown and in the Shreveport areas, the first place that people stop when they come into town, And so, but it allowed me to do more than I could just being there. So I'm very grateful for this opportunity and wouldn't trade it for anything. It's not an easy job, and it's not a job for everyone, but it's truly to be reminded that everyone's heart is not like mine. And that's not something that I brag about. I'm glad that I have the heart that God gave me, but to know that I do what I do for others and not for self-gratification. Oh my God. First of all, I would like to say that District 7, it incorporates one of the areas that I grew up in, which is the Moortown area. Moortown is so unique because a lot of people don't know that Moortown was its own city and that it was incorporated into the city of Shreveport sometimes later. I have a cousin who was Roy Foster Sr., who actually ran for this position when I was 18 years old, and I helped him campaign for it. Never in a million years did I think that I would still be in Shreveport representing Caddo Parish in District 7. That is something that is so dear to my heart. I often talk about my great-grandmother who built homes in Moortown area. She was a carpenter and she was a business owner. And so for me to be representing that area I guess that's to say the least that I'm excited about that part. But I also, Cross Lake area, South Lake Shore is one of my favorite places in Caddo Parish. And to represent that area, it gives my heart full joy to know that an area that I always find peace in, whenever I just want to go and be alone, I can find that peace on Cross Lake. That's a part of District 7. I also represent the Sunset Acres, Mansfield Road area, a little portion of Dean Road. It's a huge district, Jefferson Page Road, and again, right there with Hideaway Harbor. So there's so many interesting facts about District 7, as well as Old 80, as a lot of people travel on it. They don't know that that was the way, the access into Shreveport, into the city. And it happens to be in District 7, so it's historical as well. I think I gave a little insight of what's my favorite thing about Caddo Parish, but it's so unique. Going to other places, traveling, representing Caddo Parish, I see it everywhere I go. You know, I look and I say that's something that we could do at home. Caddo Parish is full of unlimited resources, and one of the things that I love most about it is the way that we intersect with Shreveport and Bossier City just collides. I believe the thing that has divided us for so long is the thing that will bring us together. And that's one of the favorite things that I love about Caddo Parish. Most people know, especially who knew me from high school, know that I played the trumpet. I started playing the trumpet when I was in the 6th grade. Mr. Walters was my band director, and then he passed me over there to Mr. White. And so that's probably one of the little known facts that people may not know about me. I really want to make sure that we highlight that Everbridge system and use that notification for more than just warnings, about weather, but for roads and for things that are positively happening within our communities. That is one of the first things that I want to tackle. And the second one would be our Youth Advisory Council. I'm very excited that we were able to pass that legislation last year to be able to have at least up to 25 youth that will be representatives of Caddo Parish, that will help us and first of all will help them with their civic and community engagement, and then secondly help us to develop a better plan for them and for their future. And then I guess I would talk about the economic development process. I think as Commissioner Young stated in our last meeting, how exciting it is for us to be looking at the filming industry. And I say, Caddo is camera ready. And, we have a little things to do, little wheels to turn. All eyes are definitely on us right now. I know we have a slogan out there, all roads lead to Shreveport, but you can't get to Shreveport without being in Caddo Parish. We are probably in one of the best places that we've been since Caddo's inception to work together, collaborating with different agencies. We have entities that are able to really work together to accomplish goals on behalf of our citizens. I think that what I do love about my colleagues is that we may agree to disagree, but at the end of the day, we're going to do what's best for our citizens. And I want the citizens of Caddo to know that you are really in good hands, and that with these opportunities that lie before us, that you will see some of them executed, and they will be executed quickly. This is a time for us to truly pull together. With so much that is going on across the nation, especially with me being a woman, I have a focus to make sure that our women who have been incarcerated have a proper reentry program. I'm happy to be working with the sheriff and know that that is an initiative that is going to go forward. That's something that I worked on, maybe the last 7 years, but to finally be in a place to see it be able to come into fruition, and knowing that it's going to happen, and it's going to happen very soon. That is just one of the things that we're working on. When you look at our juvenile system and you know that we can reach out to faith-based organizations and make sure that our juveniles are not just being housed or, detained, but we are actually rehabilitating them, and when you look at our recidivism rates, you understand why these same children are not coming back there. We definitely want to stop the direct pipeline, to prison. And we want to encourage our children through education So I'm looking at things of how we can provide free opportunities for them to even attend community colleges and start there and on to a university. Well, if they don't know, I would like them to know that I'm always here for them, and that if I don't have the answer, that we will find someone who does.
Well, that's a wrap on this month's edition of Pulse of the Parish. As always, we invite you to join us every first Friday of the month for a look at all things new and exciting happening right here at the Parish of Caddo. We'll see you next time.